or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schweisow.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right, Ticket Weeknights leads off here on a beautiful Monday afternoon, evening here in the capital city. Thanks for tuning in to 93.7 The Ticket on your drive home. This is the Husker Football Hour, live from 1040 O Street. Here on the dials, Austin Oerman. We're headed to our Allo Fiber VIP line, though, to talk to Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. We'll bring Tom in just a moment here, but don't forget, you can be a part of the show, as always, 402-464-5685. That is the number to our starter, Heyman Jewelers text line. Anything on your mind that you want to run past Omaha World Herald lead sports columnist Tom Shatel, get it in. We'll see if we have a chance to discuss it. Nebraska 3-0 through the non-conference wins over Cincinnati, Akron, and Houston. Christian, let's go ahead and bring in Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. Tom, a very fine evening to you. Thanks, as always, for joining us. How you doing?
Good. It's a big game week, Austin. I mean, we haven't had very many of those in recent years. So I think what makes a big game, people wonder, well, why do you say that? Well, one of the first rules of a big game is when the home team or your team has got a chance to win it. And Michigan came in a couple of years ago, and it was a fun game because whenever you get those uniforms together and school traditions, it's a big deal. But Nebraska didn't have much of a chance. So and that's been the case with Ohio State's and some of the other ones over the years. But this one feels different.
It sure does. We'll get to Michigan throughout the course of the show. Before we do that, Tom, the preseason, as Matt Rule called it in the NFL terms, is officially in the books for Nebraska. Back-to-back seasons where the Huskers go 3-0 in the non-conference play. Based on what you read into this team, what you thought about this team going into the non-conference, what are your big picture takeaways? How impressed are you with Nebraska with the 3-0 record? How concerned are you? Are there any smoke screens, I guess? Just your impressions of 3-0 Nebraska through the quote-unquote preseason.
Well, the first one was the first opener. It was weird. Arrowhead, you weren't sure how they're going to look. And it felt like a little bit like a lot of games last year and in the past where they probably should have been ahead by more, but they just kind of held on. Big difference was this time they won. But the last 2 weeks, call me crazy. I think we have this little feature now in the World Herald that we're doing every week of stock report, buy and sell or hold. And I've been buying the last couple of weeks. I feel like there's something going on there, and it has to do with execution and depth. Man, they've played bad teams before and have been sloppy and haven't looked, well coached at times and haven't called plays well at times, and just kind of, I'm not going to say Georgia Southern was a bad team. They came in and beat Nebraska that one year, but I mean, they've had their struggles at times with those kind of teams. It hasn't always been that automatic. These two felt like the game was over before it started, and I like the chemistry of this. I like the way they're playing. I like the depth. There's something about second and third team guys out there running around, making big plays, excited. It just something about depth that gives you hope. Not because these guys are necessarily going to play a lot this week, but it just looks like a football team is supposed to look. And we'll know more this weekend, but I feel good about it because I feel like, if we hadn't gotten to see those guys, it would be like, well, what's going on here? But the fact that those games were over early and we got to see everybody tells me that this thing's on the right track. And, the way they bounced back with Akron and just cleaned up everything. And I felt like there was urgency after the Cincinnati game. I felt like the coaches were serious about, okay, that's enough of that, no more. And getting them to play hard, which, they had to get on them. And they thought they were playing hard, but they weren't playing, as hard as they should. And they weren't playing as well as they should. And, the way Holgerson was getting after him, I don't know. I felt like that was a very good sign. That they weren't just happy to beat, to survive Cincinnati. So, who, by the way, last week beat somebody like 70 to nothing or something. So, anyway, yeah, I feel good about it. I don't know. With Nebraska, we haven't. Until they've done it, we haven't seen it. We don't believe it. But so can they do it every week? I don't know. Right now, all we have to worry about is this week. But I think there's a lot of good things there. Offensive line, defensive line has played better. I'm not sure how great it'll be. We'll know more this week. They're certainly capable of, flattening two teams like Akron, Houston Christian. But that's what you should do. I feel like the secondary, and I think the offensive line is. The secondary will be a strength. The offensive line will be a strength. The skill guys are good. I don't know if great is the word, but good. And are they going to be good enough? I think they should be. But the only thing I don't know about is, do they have a punter? I have not seen him.
He looked really good standing out there in victory formation, though.
That's right.
That was a funny answer.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He did fine in his first debut game again against Cincinnati. Haven't seen him for a couple weeks, but new stage, first time at home, different winds. We heard Brian Buschini talk a lot about that. Happy trails, by the way, to Brian Buschini. Announced his retirement from the game of football on social media today. But Tom, when you think about the depth for Nebraska, what group on the team were you maybe most concerned about with depth and did the most to answer questions about, hey, yeah, they got a stable full of dudes through the first 3 games of the season?
That's a good question. Maybe running back and maybe quarterback. I thought, well, if Raiola gets hurt, they are, they're in big trouble. Well, I don't feel that way anymore. I don't know what TJ Lateef is going to do in a game against USC, or hopefully they won't need to find out. But he hasn't blinked. He went out there. He plays like he belongs, and he's got a little speed. He throws the ball deep and he hits the guy in stride for a touchdown. Excuse me. I feel good about it. I feel like they have a capable backup to guide the team in other games. Is he going to beat? Is he going to go to Penn State and win? I don't know, but I think he can handle some of the other ones if he had to. And I think the running backs have been good. The backups have been out there. Again, we know the opponent, but I think they're doing what they should be doing, and I think that the defensive line is showing some depth. Again, I don't know if it's going to be great, but I think it'll be good. I say that a lot about the team itself. I don't know if it's a great team. I'm not sure it'll ever be a great team, but they don't have to be great every week. They just have to win. So, I don't know. I just feel like the thing I feel the best about is the approach, and I just sense a little chemistry going. I sense a bit of confidence, and that's what they've needed. And they needed the coaching staff to really be a force. It hasn't been over the years, and I think this coaching staff has got a chance to be a difference maker.
Nebraska 3-0 back-to-back years through the non-conference. Tommy, I know you have your finger on the pulse. We know after Cincinnati, you got some nasty emails, some upset ones. Hopefully that is slowed down from week 1 through week 3. When you think about the building up to Michigan, the buzz behind a game like this, from what you can hear and tell from Husker fans, are you getting a sense of excitement because, oh yeah, Nebraska's back, we're 3-0, we're rolling, Huskers are good? Or is it more, hey, Nebraska's just back on track. They did what they were supposed to do. It's not going to be easy against Michigan, but all we've asked for is a chance.
Well, I don't hear anything when they win. I get a few things. I get a lot when they lose. got a couple things under Cincinnati. I felt like, well, God, did they lose? No, but people thought that it felt like one. I haven't heard from anybody, quite honestly, Austin. They just talked about food lines, about beer lines. And apparently they moved from one thing to that, from the one thing to the other. So I haven't heard a lot of complaints. I really haven't. So I think everybody has got it into the proper context, and that is it's for 3-0. They're beating 3 teams they should. Nobody's going to get too excited right now. I think everybody just feels good about the team, and sit back and watch. This is a kind of game where, like I said, you got a chance. I mean, they're not overwhelmed on paper. They're just not. Michigan's got a 5-star quarterback. So does Nebraska. Michigan's got a wily old fox, a defensive coordinator, one of the best around. Nebraska's got one offensive coordinator. One of the wily old fox, one of the best around. I mean, they've got Michigan's big and physical and deep. Nebraska's big and physical and deep. I mean, it's on and on. I feel like this ought to be a hell of a game. So, but fans are just kind of wait and see right now. They feel good about it, but it's like this is a game that they usually maybe play well but lose. So I think we'll just sit back and watch and just. I think the feeling is this is the best. This team has the best chance to win one of these kind of games.
Best chance in a while, certainly, for Nebraska, who has won, a couple one-possession games in its last handful, Boston College and Cincinnati. Clearly didn't have to worry about that over the course of the last 2 weeks. But, Tom, let me ask you this. Just looking at Nebraska's non-conference schedule, we know that the SEC has made the move to 9 conference games, and there's a lot of push to play a Power 4 opponent in there. Do you like the structure of Nebraska's non-conference, where they have the Power 4 opponent, they have a lower level but still, FBS opponent, and then still get a tune-up against an FCS team? Do you think that's the right formula for Nebraska moving forward in the non-con?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do any more. I mean, and that's what they've always done. They've always had that formula. I mean, maybe a couple of times they strayed from it. But they've always had one top 20 type team or top 25 type program. And then they have a medium sort of MAC, WAC, sort of, Mountain West type of deal. And then, somebody, maybe FCS, but they have the right FCS. They're not going to bring those, North Dakota or South Dakota, they're going to bring those people down here.
Or McNeese State. That was a top 10 FCS team in 2014.
Yeah. It's an easy way to get beat. I mean, anybody can beat you these days. So, no, I like it. I mean, I like what Rule said. Look, for a long time, Nebraska played UCLA and USC, Washington, not necessarily Oregon very often, but they played them. There's a non-conference team. Now they're conference games. So, why the hell would you load up in your conference? I don't think you have to do that to make the playoff. I mean, we need more evidence with the 12-team format. Mm-hmm. But I don't think the big schedule, a tough schedule, is the secret to getting in. If you lose them, it's kind of the way to get out. So, as Indiana showed last year. So, I don't know that it's a deal where their schedule, off. No, I think it's perfect. The Tennessee thing is unfortunate. I really wanted to go to Knoxville and see a game in Neyland. It's one of the places I haven't been, but Nebraska's wanted to move the game a couple of years to allow them to get their stadium done. And I guess Tennessee wouldn't do it. So that's the way it goes. But they've got Oklahoma and they've got Oklahoma State and somebody else that's coming up.
Is it Colorado again?
No, I don't think so. And I sure as heck hope not. I'm so over that series. I don't need to see it again. And if we're going to do that, it was like KU or Iowa State or somebody. I don't need to go to Colorado, but no, it's. I don't remember who that other team was, but it's on there. If you, I don't have a laptop in front of me, but if you guys want to, well, I'll get the future schedules. I'm sure you'll see it. But no, I think it's perfect. Now, I think there's a distinct possibility that there will be an SEC, a Big Ten series put together by ESPN or Fox, or both, and where the 2 leagues will play each other. Two Big Tens will have to sit out because there's 18 versus the SEC 16, unless they somehow align and catch up. The SEC adds to, but I think there will be a deal where those two conferences play an on-conference game every year, and that'll be plenty. Trust me, when you're playing, Nebraska catches a break this year because it appears UCLA is going to be bad, and they have a new coach. So that was a game that looked like it could go either way. Well, maybe it still will, but generally, also, if you start, USC, Penn State, and Michigan is on the schedule. Like the fabulous Thunderbirds once asked, "Ain't that tough enough?" Do you have to add, Alabama in the non-conference or somebody like that? Do you have to play, LSU? Or I'd love to see them, but I'm just saying these are all games that are hard to win, really hard to win. And so the more you lose, the less chance you get in the playoff. So I like it. It's fine. It's the way to go. And it, like the man Troy Dannon said, it's about 7 home games. So in this day and age, it's about revenue. And anybody that's going to complain about the non-conference schedule being this or that is going to complain if they don't get top players, they don't have enough money. So it's all about money. It's all about revenue. And but look, this is the way that they've done it. This is the formula that they've done it forever. Except for a couple of years, go back and look at the 1981 schedule. I contend that was the greatest of all time. And I'm sure somebody will pull up another one from some other school. But Penn State, Florida State, Auburn, and Iowa. And that was the Iowa Rose Bowl team. Florida State was in the Orange Bowl. Penn State might have been in the Sugar. Auburn was Auburn. That's your non-conference deal. So they played all 4. I love that schedule. And I don't know who put it there. I guess Bob Devaney maybe owed somebody a favor or 2 or 3. But holy crap. And you think about that. So, and I'm sure they were probably thinking at the time, well, Iowa won't be that hard. And then it was Hayden Fry's first Rose Bowl team. And they beat Nebraska in Iowa City. So, yeah, it was. So Nebraska's had a pretty good deal. But generally, it's tiered. Big, medium, small. Although these days you don't know which one is the small or medium. Sometimes you don't know. You don't know which of the 3 is small. So it's fine.
I did see that according to FBschedules.com, it's Arizona on the books for 2028 and 2031.
Well, there you go.
So,
There you go.
of course, Arizona's been in the news for Nebraska a little bit recently, as 2 weeks ago, Nebraska pitches its first shutout since 2009 against those Arizona Wildcats in the Holiday Bowl. Last thing before we take our first break of the show here, Tom, with that non-conference format that Nebraska has been through, the big, medium, small games like you just talked about, how important is it, or do you think it will be, for this specific 2025 Nebraska team to have started off 3-0 going into the Big Ten opener at home against Michigan?
Well, it's better than not being 3-0. I mean, but again, where this thing starts is this is where they were supposed to be. How they finish is those last 4 games. That's again, people before the season said, well, what's a successful season? And I said, forget the number. Tell me after the season, how did they play? How did they look? Were they doing, did they grow as a team? Were they really good in any area? Did they look like a team that was taking big steps? If they do all those things, they play the right way and stop beating themselves, they're going to win 8 or 9, and then we're not going to worry about the number. But I just said, ask me those questions after the season, because I think it'll be more of we'll judge this season on the big games, and starting with this one. USC's another one. Is UCLA? I don't know. Penn State is, and certainly Iowa is. Anybody that didn't think Iowa was a big game is out of their mind. That's a big game. So these are games that if you go to the end of the year and you found that you've won 2 or 3 of those, or if you won them all, it means you went to Penn State. Wow. So I'm just saying, we're going to look back and go, what's the next step for this team? It's obviously to go to a bigger bowl, but it's to start winning these kind of games. And the key to having a big game is having a team that is able to win the big game. And so, some of these, teams that don't have a chance, they play Michigan and Ohio State every year. They don't, it's a big game. Well, I guess they're going to beat us by 40. But I feel like that was Nebraska for a while. Now I think these are the kind of games the Nebraska fans grew up on. And if I'm totally honest, and if Husker fans are totally honest, I believe that's what they want. Do they want to win championships? Yes. Do they want to go to the playoff? Yes. But I think what they really miss is the big game juice. The having that on the schedule, or just something about the whole week, the adrenaline rush, knowing that it's on national TV. Of course, one of them are now, but you know what I mean? I feel like big game was the thing that's been really missing in this program. And it was always the thing that defined Nebraska. Tom couldn't win the big one, but he was playing big ones, so and then he could win the big one, and he kept winning big ones. So, but Nebraska always had big ones, and I just feel like it's been too long since, Mike Riley have a big one. I don't remember. Frost never seemed to get off to a good, when you're down and out early, it's hard to, call any of those games huge. You know what I mean? I just feel like this is big because I think Nebraska's champ is 3-0, and if they win it, it can really change Matt Rule's program and the way it's not only perceived outside but also inside. And so this will be fun.
It's a big game because it's a big game, not manufactured maybe like some other games in in recent Husker history. Let's pause there. We'll go to break. More of the Husker Football Hour. He's the Omaha World Herald lead sports columnist Tom Shatel. I'm Austin Oerman. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Give your furnace a break with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything, while still keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. With the school year here, A1 Automotive reminds you that college students get 10% off any service, and they offer free tire repair with a valid college ID. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive or downtown at 11th and L.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Suizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Suizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at Suizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Rollouts have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Rollouts will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Rollouts make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Rolloffs, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rolling right along. It is the Husker Football Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Austin Oerman with you, 1040 O Street on our Allo Fiber VIP line. Official internet provider of your Nebraska Cornhuskers, by the way. Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald. Tom, let's jump off on the big game feeling for Nebraska, right? Maybe the first one in a while. Got some comments during a previous show saying, man, this really feels like the Colorado game from last year in terms of the buildup, the energy, obviously, championship teams being honored in back-to-back years, one at Colorado and now one at Michigan. What's the fine line that Nebraska needs to walk between not making the game bigger than it needs to be, but also making sure that they have the energy and the juice and the buzz to meet the moment of, a recent national champion coming into Memorial Stadium when you're honoring a past Nebraska national championship team?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. They really don't. They don't have any evidence that they won this kind of game. I mean, a year ago we were in a very situation, except that they won a big non-conference game, and you felt like, and then they followed up. Colorado by beating Northern Iowa. I remember that. Troy Dannon's game. And Illinois came into town when it was a Friday night game, Friday night home game, and which was a little controversial. And Nebraska just didn't play. They played well enough to get it into overtime, and it was just off on a few plays. And Rilo was good, but he wasn't good enough. But he was a freshman, and he just looked like they just weren't. I don't know if they were surprised by Illinois. A lot of people hadn't picked them, and they came in there with that quarterback from Ole Miss, and then he got hot, and he was throwing it all over the field, and they had their hands full, and they ended up losing. And you just felt like, Nebraska was ready to go 4-0 and had get momentum, and they couldn't finish again. And I think they had that lesson in the back of their mind. But also, this is a better team, and Rayo's been through it. And now Michigan has the kid, the 5-star kid who looks like the next big thing. Underwood, but he hasn't been through it, and so he's going to get lessons. He went to Oklahoma and went through it, and they're probably going to play him differently. But so it's the shoe's on the other foot there. But I just feel like the Nebraska's a year older, and I think they're going to handle it. They're going to handle it well, and they're just going to look at it like it's one game. Because you saw last year, they followed up big one with a loss to Illinois. So after this, they've got a week off, and then they've got Michigan State and Maryland. I mean, those are games where you could trip up if you're not careful. So, and then you go to Minnesota. So I don't think anybody's going to celebrate at the end of the season if they win this. But it just feels like they need proof. They need to beat a team like Michigan. If they're going to take the next step, it starts with this. If the rest of the season is going to be the next progression for Matt Rule, it has to start here. It doesn't mean they lose and they can't, but it'll feel different if they win this game. And I don't think anybody will start declaring anything, and they better not. Nebraska hasn't proven that it can do this over a season, but it's sure going to feel better. It's sure going to look better around here if they can do that. And this team needs self-belief. It needs proof. It needs evidence that yes, they can win these kind of games because there's more on the way. So, and we'll see. I like to think that maybe they have a little ace in the, or a little something on their side. That Michigan's good but young, and maybe you're catching them at the right time. Maybe this is a Michigan team that is going to be held to pay, to play later on in the season. They'll probably be hard enough this week, but I just think it's all about Nebraska. They've got a good enough team to go win this game. They just got to go do it.
I think that's the right way to frame it, because Michigan is clearly not what it was a couple of years ago, and it put a dozen guys into the NFL draft. But Michigan's still plenty talented. These are still guys that were parts of at least top 15, if not top 10 recruiting classes. They haven't forgotten how to play football just because Jim Harbaugh's not there, just because Sharon Moore self-imposed his suspension for this week. But they're also not world beaters, right? And that's where, Tom, I'll go to the example of last year's Cinderella, the darling of college football in a lot of ways, Indiana. What was the validating win for Indiana last year? It came against Michigan. Again, all the caveats about, not a vintage Michigan. They lost a lot. They had to reload. Absolutely, they apply. But that game was less about Michigan, more about Indiana saying, hey, you have to take us seriously. We've gotten better. You gave us a shot against a team like this. We're going to capitalize on it. I know this Nebraska and last year's Indiana are not the same team, not the same personality, but it feels like it's a similar moment for Nebraska against a team still in a similar position like Michigan.
Yeah, and don't forget, Michigan went on to beat Ohio State,
right,
and went on to beat Alabama in the bowl game. So there was plenty of good Michigan, after that Indiana game. I still think Indiana had a magical run. Say what you want about who they played, they beat everybody and they beat them bad. Whoever they wind up with, but I felt like a little bit like this with Illinois. They had the quarterback, and I just feel like if you get the right quarterback and there's something going on, and he's got that thing, that there's a lot of power in that, and that I can carry a team if they feel like that they've got a guy who's not just on a roll, but man, he's got it. He's going to be there every week, and he's the real deal, and he's just it's hard to describe. I kind of think Oklahoma might have that guy this year, and I think I was telling my podcast buddy Barry Trammell last week. I said, this Oklahoma, they've beaten Michigan like they did with the quarterback. He did the transfer from Washington State. I said, this kind of reminds me of 2000 Sooners who knocked off Nebraska down there, and Josh Heupel took them all the way to the national championship. I'm not saying Oklahoma is going to do that, but I'm saying a quarterback can do that to a team. That's why I'm going to have a spotlight on number 15 this week. I don't think Dylan has to be Superman, but he's got to be a winning quarterback in a big game. And these big games, he's got to be a football player at some point. He's got the arm, and he's a student. He's got the head. But there's a lot of these games are sometimes won by heart. So I think he's got all that stuff. He's just the way to show it. I'm really I've kind of got spotlight on Raiola this week. Just the big game. This is why you get 5 stars, so you can win games like this. And so again, he doesn't have to be big stats, highlight plays. You just got to go win the game. You got to figure out how to win this game. It's going to come down to him. And so, you know what I mean?
I do. And the comparison that comes to mind for me, I know it's not 1-to-1, is the Casey Thompson, Trey Palmer game against Iowa, where, Casey Thompson wasn't necessarily Superman. The stat line ends up pretty pedestrian. Nebraska took advantage when Riley Moss goes out, hits the long touchdown to Palmer. He gets another one later, and it's a big defensive play to ice it, to cap the season by Chris Kolarvik with the interception. Tom, it's just been, it seems like so long since Nebraska has had a quarterback be able just to be the best version of themselves, play within the structure of a game plan, and have that be enough to keep Nebraska in the game and for the team's sake, hopefully ahead by arm's length of an opponent like this. It's great that Adrian Martinez, for example, could go Superman and make the big play, the fantastic play, the exciting play. But it's been a while since Nebraska has been able to have an offensive game plan put together, have the quarterback to execute it, and the talent around the quarterback to make sure that it gets executed, to where Nebraska can just focus on itself, not rely on opponent miscues and busted coverages and injuries and what have you. This is a big test for a Nebraska offense that far too often hasn't shown up in games of this magnitude or similar to it in recent years.
Yeah, and a lot of that is, it's a combination of things, but there's nothing magical that has to happen Saturday. They have the team. They just got to go outplay their opponent. Their opponent will play well. They got to play better. That's what this is all about now, and that's the next step. But I really think, again, that's why you recruit 5 stars, because they not only can make these incredible plays, but they've got the talent to go out and throw it, run it, And I think there's some intangibles here that are going to have to come out, and we've seen more of those this year with Dillard. He's more confident. He's the extra time with Holgerson has been a big benefit for everybody. I think his receivers are deeper and better. Lindemeyer's got the look of that guy, and it's all they got a guy that's going to step up and be that tight end outlet. And I think Emmett Johnson's got that look. I mean, they're just better everywhere around. So the offensive line is better. They just got things figured out, and I think they're going to get help with Mike Ecker's special teams. Offense needs help sometimes with the field position. They're going to get that help. But again, I like the depth. I mean, you put Quinn Clark out there. Is he going to make a play against Michigan? Well, yeah, he might just do that. Corey Barney, line him up, and he's the guy who's going to make a difference in a game like this. I mean, talent, but it'll all come together. But the quarterback is one who goes in the huddle, and everybody's, that's what I really wanted to see out of Dillard this year, was when he runs on the field, everybody on the field knows that he's the man and he's going to win the game. I mean, he's going to make them win that game. And that's his next step as a quarterback. I think he knows that. I think he knows what to do, and it's going to be fun watching.
Nebraska and Michigan, 2:30 CBS game coming up here in just 5 days. We'll wrap up our conversation about that, react to Bud Crawford's title fight, and tomorrow night's big volleyball matchup, Nebraska-Creighton at the CHI Health Center. All that and more to wrap up the Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel after this.
Harvest season is coming, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade for this year's harvest. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends August 31st, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Hey fans, there's more winning at Amigos with the VIP Game Day giveaway. Every app scan is your chance to win premium tickets to a Nebraska football, basketball, and volleyball game, along with exclusive game day perks. And when Nebraska goes to a bowl, the winner also gets 2 tickets, lodging, and airfare to the bowl game. Weekly semifinalists will win free food for a year. Go Big Red. Eat at Amigos and enter to win.
Amigos is celebrating 45 years with exclusive Nebraska Legends collectible cups featuring Tom Osborne, John Cook, and some of your favorite Huskers. For every cup sold, 50 cents goes to teammates. Show your Big Red pride by getting all 4 of these collectible cups at Amigos.
This is Tom Osborne with the Teammates Mentoring Program. We have students on the waiting list for a mentor, and we want you to join the team. Learn more about mentoring and support teammates by visiting Amigos.
An overdose can happen in front of you and you might not realize it. Blue lips, slowed breathing, pinpoint pupils, choking sounds, unresponsive to touch or sounds. These signs aren't always obvious, but they can be deadly. Knowing what to do could save your friend, your neighbor, your child. Learn more by visiting myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can be ready before it happens. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Limitless Male says it's all fun and games until your testosterone plummets. Testosterone levels can start falling as early as age 30 with symptoms like no energy, poor sleep, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, and mood swings. If this sounds familiar, get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. We'll get you back in the game with more strength, energy, and confidence. When you feel this good, you'll wonder why you waited so long to get a free consult at Limitless Male. Get scheduled today.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to SmokingGunJerky.com and enter code early for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In just a couple minutes left here on the Husker Football Hour with Tom Shatel. We will turn our focus from football here for just a moment. Tom's with us on our Allo Fiber VIP line. Allo, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart, also the official internet provider of Nebraska. Tom, a couple things to get your quick little hits on here. Bud Crawford, 3-division champion, first guy since the four belts came into play in 2007 to do it. Your reaction to Bud Crawford taking down Canelo late Saturday night?
Yeah, this was the best one of all, the biggest and best one. And he just does it so it's not routine, but he's just Bud. He's the guy next door, the guy from Omaha, who shows up and he becomes Superman in these things, and he unites the whole city of Omaha. Everybody's pulling for him, rooting for him, watching, watch parties, bars, cover charges, all kinds of stuff. Parades coming. You got Nebraska. If you care about boxing in the state of Nebraska, maybe if you just care about a winner, about a classy winner, you're going to follow him. And he's just. I've been one who said, I don't know who he's beating. I don't know, the best fighters in history had rivalries, and they had they had iconic fights, and he just hasn't had that many of either one of those. He just never had a rival, and he's fought over and over, and all these guys won't fight him again. And he hasn't had that many big fights, so I just felt like this was the biggest one, and he did it again. And I think he's on the Mount Rushmore of all the great fighters. And he's so unusual. Left hand, right hand, power, strategist. He plays chess out there. I mean, he's just sort of a unique character in the history of boxing. He's followed these different classes and beaten everybody. I mean, nobody's done it. So I don't really think I've appreciated what I've been watching, and I do now, and I think we all do, and I think he's going to go down as one of the. I mean, there's a Mount Rushmore of Nebraska, native athletes. He's got to be on them. He's got to be on the list, and I think he is. And so, I hope for one more. I know Troy Dannon wants to do it. One more. At least one more. But the last fight should be at the stadium.
I think that'd be fantastic for everyone involved. Last one before we let you go here, Tom. Nebraska volleyball officially on the road, just the 50 miles or so up I-80 to Omaha, taking on Creighton tomorrow. Two programs, both in a little bit of a state of transition. Both top 25 teams. Nebraska still atop the entire poll at number one. Creighton hanging on in the top 25. Your read on tomorrow night's matchup in red versus blue?
Yeah, they're home away from home. It'll be all red. There'll be some blue. But this is not where Creighton plays. They play there once every 2 years. They play Nebraska. Nebraska's transition was that they have a new coach. Creighton's transition, new coach, and they lost the top two players. They still have Ava Martin, who's an all-America type, but they've just They got swept by Penn State and Texas and USC, and they just lost to Louisville the other night at home. So they're kind of struggling, but I expect big atmosphere. I don't think we'll get the iconic 5 center we had last year, but Creighton could have, should have won them. Could have, should have won that game, and they let it get away, and Nebraska finished it. It was one of the great ones ever. I don't think we'll get that necessarily, but I think Creighton will be competitive. I think they'll get a set at least, and I think I'll probably go 4, but I think Nebraska will win.
There you have it. Tom Shatel of the Omaha World Herald, our guest on our Allo Fiber VIP line. Tom, as always, appreciate your hour here on Monday nights. We'll look forward to seeing you around throughout the rest of the week and getting ready for a big one, Nebraska football against Michigan on Saturday.
Yeah, I can't wait. Big week.
Thanks, yep, thank you, Tom. Tom joined us again on our Allo Fiber VIP line. That's where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. That'll do it for the Husker Football Hour. Plenty more ticket weeknights coming your way next. Here and only here, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.